Nearly 7 months have gone by since I resigned my job at the Inter-American Travel Bureau to answer the Army's call for induction. I am still waiting. It is a trivial-seeming thing, a sort of bureaucratic comedy trimmed out in red tape. At first, I took that attitude toward it myself. It began as a holiday, a short reprieve last May, when I was sent home because my papers were not in order. I have lived here 18 years, but I am still Canadian, a British subject, and although a friendly alien, I could not be drafted without an investigation. I waited 5 weeks, and then I asked Mr. Mallender at Inter-American to take me back temporarily, but business had so fallen off, he told me, that he had been obliged to lay off Mr. Traeger and Mr. Bishop, in spite of their long years of service, and could not possibly help me. At the end of September, I was informed by letter that I had been investigated and approved, and again, in accordance with the regulations, I was instructed to present myself for a second blood test. A month later, I was notified that I was in 1A and was told to hold myself ready. Again, I waited. Finally, when November came, I began to inquire and found that through a new clause affecting married men, my induction had been postponed. I asked for reclassification, pleading that I had been prevented from working. After 3 weeks of explaining, I was transferred to 3A. But before I could act, in a week to be accurate, I was summoned for a new blood test. Each holds good for only 60 days. And so I was shifted back. This tedious business has not ended yet, I am sure. It will drag on for another 2, 3, 4 months. Meanwhile, Iva, my wife, has been supporting me. She claims that it is no burden and that she wants me to enjoy this liberty, to read and to do all the delightful things I will be unable to do in the Army. About a year ago, I ambitiously began several essays, mainly biographical, on the philosophers of the Enlightenment. I was in the midst of one on Diderot when I stopped. But it was vaguely understood, when I began to dangle, that I was to continue with them. Iva did not want me to get a job. As a 1A, I could not get a suitable one anyhow. Iva is a quiet girl. She has a way about her that discourages talk. We no longer confide in each other. In fact, there are many things I could not mention to her. We have friends, but we no longer see them. A few live in distant parts of the city. Some are in Washington and some in the Army. One is abroad. My Chicago friends and I have been growing steadily apart. I have not been too eager to meet them. Possibly some of our differences could be mended, but as I see it, the main bolt that held us together has given way, and so far I have had no incentive to replace it. And so, I am very much alone. I sit idle in my room, anticipating the minor crises of the day, the maid's knock, the appearance of the postman, programs on the radio, and the sure cyclical distress of certain thoughts. I have thought of going to work, but I am unwilling to admit that I do not know how to use my freedom and have to embrace the flunkeydom of a job because I have no resources. In a word, no character. I made an attempt to enlist in the Navy last time I was reclassified, but induction, it seems, is the only channel for aliens. There is nothing to do but wait, or dangle, and grow more and more dispirited. It is perfectly clear to me that I am deteriorating, storing bitterness and spite which eat like acids at my endowment of generosity and goodwill. But the 7 months' delay is only one of the sources of my harassment. Again, I sometimes think of it as the backdrop against which I can be seen swinging. It is still more. Before I can properly estimate the damage it has done me, I shall have to be cut down. December 16th. I have begun to